So as we've discussed before, we've talked about how a quadratic makes a parabola when we graph it, but now we have to be able to sketch it and take a better look at it, because there's some key things that we're going to start to find out about a quadratic. And what we'll do is we're just going to show how to sketch this easy enough. All we're doing is our table of values. X is going to go from -3 to +3. So what we have to do is calculate the y values that are associated with it. So y equals -3 squared plus 2 times -3 minus 3. Minus 9 minus 3. And that's going to equal 9 minus 6 minus 3, which equals 0. So y equals 0 when x equals -3. That means when x is 3, we get, no, we'll hold on to that. You do the same for -2. Y equals -2 squared plus 2 times -2 minus 3, 4 minus 4 minus 3 equals -3. And just trying to speed through this, we have 1 minus 2 is -1, -4. And 0 comes in there, and we get -3, 1, 1, 1 plus 2 minus 3. 1 plus 2 is 3 minus 3. 0? That seems wrong. I feel like I've made a mistake somewhere along here. Let's check these values again. So 9 minus 6 minus 3. And then, okay, that's why. Perfect. We have 0. And then 2 goes in there, we get 4. Plus 4 is 8 minus 3, we get 5. And 9 plus 6 minus 3 is 12. So we just take the points as they are, -3 and 0. So at -3, x is 0, y is 0, x is -3. X is -2, y is -3. -4 there, and 1 and 0, 2 and 5, 3 and 12. So there's a sketch. I'm going to put arrows on the end because it continues. That's a sketch of the curve y equals x squared minus plus 2x minus 3. You need to note some points here. Those are the x-intercepts. Those are the points where it crosses the x-axis. Notice y is equal to 0 when those happen. Over here, we have the y-intercept. X equals 0. Really important. It's where it crosses the y-axis. And another really important point is this, our vertex. It's our minimum or maximum depending on the shape of our parabola. In this case, it's the lowest point, minimum. Okay? And that's all we're doing when we're trying to sketch it. We want to be able to have a good idea of what it looks like. Now, from doing this, it leads into some information, and that's all this is on here is information. Key things, graphs of the form y equals x squared plus k. That means we have a vertical translation. That means our graph is going up or down from the original. This is all based on this original quadratic. And we're going to see how this works as we move along. Now, when it talks about this, this is how we represent a translation. Okay, we didn't move horizontal, vertical. So these are vertical and horizontal translations. We didn't go anywhere horizontally, but we moved it up or down K units vertically. Now when we're in the form here, that is what we moved side to side or horizontally, left, right, whichever way you want to look at it, there it is there. And it's represented like this. Moving on a bit more, then we talk about the form y equals x minus h squared plus k. This is a great form to represent quadratics. This is what we want to see it in because it gives us our translations very easily, our horizontal shift and our vertical shift. So, and again, we see how it's represented, horizontal, then vertical. Now, we also have this thing, A. A tells us what's happening with our reflection and with our stretch. If it's just A, so A is greater than 0, then our parabola opens up. It opens down if A is less than 0. Think of it as A is negative. Back to that sad face idea. Now, if A is less than -1 or greater than 1, we get a thin parabola. So we go from a wide one, our original y equals x squared, and our new one will be in there. And then the same goes with less than, between -1 and 1, it'll be wider. And as we go through, some of this stuff will make more sense. Vertical shift to K units. There's our vertical shift, horizontal shift, and our stretch factor. Okay? And that's when we want to see our graph in this form. So that helps us see what it is. This is our vertical stretch. So it's making it thinner or wider, right here. Shifting horizontally, vertically. And we'll talk more about that in our next video.